When the morning light touches your face, it is not just another ordinary day. It is a reminder that you have been given another chance to breathe, to walk, to love, to grow. Many people wake up, and the first thing they reach for is their phone, their schedule, their worries. But if you choose instead to reach for God, everything changes. The chaos of the world may still wait for you outside, but inside, you will carry calmness, direction, and strength that cannot be shaken. The way you begin your day has the power to determine the way you live your day. And when you begin with God, you carry His presence into every moment, every challenge, every victory. The stillness of the morning is like an open door. The world has not yet placed its weight upon your shoulders, and in that silence you can choose what fills your heart. If you let God be the first voice you hear, then gratitude will replace complaint, faith will replace fear, and clarity will replace confusion. That is the difference between stumbling through life in darkness and walking with light guiding your path. To start with God is to align yourself with something greater than your own strength, to walk with a foundation that cannot be shaken when trials come. You may not control what happens in your day, but you can control how you meet it. And the one who begins with prayer, with surrender, with trust, will not be broken by sudden storms. To start with God is to remind yourself that you are not walking alone, that unseen hands are guiding you, unseen strength is carrying you, and unseen love is surrounding you. The morning is not just the beginning of time, it is the beginning of choice. Each dawn whispers, who will you trust today? Where will you place your focus? If you begin with fear, you will carry fear. If you begin with stress, you will carry stress. But if you begin with God, you carry peace, you carry strength, you carry light. And wherever you go, you do not go empty. You take that presence with you. A day started with God is a day that does not control you, but becomes shaped by you. It is a day where setbacks become lessons, where waiting becomes patience, where uncertainty becomes faith. It is the difference between wandering aimlessly and walking with direction. So when you wake up before the rush begins, pause, acknowledge the gift you've been given, and choose to walk into the world not empty-handed, but carrying the strength, the wisdom, and the light that comes only from starting with God. When the first breath of the morning enters your lungs, it carries with it a choice. Before the noise of the world arrives, before responsibilities demand your attention, there is a quiet moment where you decide what your foundation will be. Most people rush immediately into distraction. Their hands search for a screen, their minds leap into worry, their hearts become heavy before the day has even begun. But there is a deeper way, a higher way to begin with God, to center yourself not in what is urgent, but in what is eternal. Imagine a tree standing in a storm. Its branches bend, its leaves scatter, but the roots hold it steady. In the same way, when your day begins rooted in God, no storm can rip you from your ground. If your first thoughts are prayers of gratitude, your heart becomes stronger than your fear. If your first words are whispers of trust, then even when challenges come, they will find you unshaken. The way you begin shapes the way you continue. A distracted start often leads to a restless day, but a start in God leads to a day filled with clarity, balance, and peace. It does not require long hours or heavy rituals. It requires sincerity, a few quiet moments where you close your eyes, breathe, and acknowledge the one who has given you life again. In that silence, you remember, you are not carrying this day alone. You are not walking into the unknown without guidance. You are stepping forward with strength beyond your own. And in that awareness, fear begins to loosen its grip. Stress loses its power, and the weight you thought you had to carry suddenly feels lighter. When you center yourself in God at the start, you align your steps with purpose. You walk not as one rushing into chaos, but as one who carries calmness into the world. Every encounter, every decision, every challenge that awaits you will be touched by that beginning. The morning, then, is not just the start of time. It is the shaping of your spirit. And when you let God be your first thought, your first word, your first focus, the rest of the day cannot help but be transformed. Gratitude is the doorway that transforms an ordinary morning into a sacred one. When you wake and your first thought is not of what is missing, not of what is heavy, but of what has already been given, your entire being begins to shift. Too often the mind starts by chasing what it does not have. More money, more time, more recognition, more ease. But when the very first breath of the day is dedicated to saying, "Thank you," the world feels different. The problems may not vanish, but the heart learns how to carry them with strength. Gratitude is not about ignoring struggle. It is about remembering that in the midst of struggle, you are still blessed. The fact that you woke up, that breath still flows in and out of your lungs, that the sun continues to rise without your command, these are not small things. They are signs of grace. To begin your day by noticing them is to step into life with open eyes instead of closed ones. A grateful heart sees possibility where a restless heart only sees burden. Consider how a traveler feels when carrying heavy bags. If he focuses only on the weight, every step feels unbearable. But if he remembers where the road leads, that every step is taking him closer to home, suddenly even the weight carries meaning. Gratitude is that reminder. It tells you the road is not random, your steps are not wasted, and even the load you carry has purpose. To start your day with gratitude is to prepare your spirit for resilience. Because when difficulties arise, you will not be consumed by what is wrong. You will be strengthened by what is still right. You will notice the light shining through cracks, the kindness hidden in chaos, the lessons concealed in loss. And when you live with this awareness, you no longer chase blessings as if they are far away. You recognize that they are already around you, waiting to be seen. In this way, gratitude does not just shape your morning, it shapes your entire life. The person who begins each day thankful for the little things will never run out of reasons to keep going. Silence in the morning is not emptiness. It is a powerful space where clarity is born. Before the noise of the world rushes in, before messages and demands and expectations start to pull you in every direction, there is a sacred pause. In that pause, the soul can breathe. Too many begin their day already tangled in noise, scrolling, rushing, planning, worrying. But silence is different. It is a teacher. It speaks in whispers, not in shouts. And if you allow yourself to listen, you discover guidance that is easily missed in the busyness of life. Silence is not the absence of sound, it is the presence of awareness. In the stillness of morning, your thoughts slow down, your emotions soften, and your heart begins to align. It is here that prayers are not just words, but vibrations that rise from the deepest part of your being. You may speak them out loud or hold them quietly inside, but in silence they grow stronger, as if the universe itself bends its ear to listen. Think of a lake before the wind touches it, perfectly still, reflecting everything clearly. That is what silence does to the mind. It allows you to see yourself without distortion, to hear the voice within that often gets drowned out. It helps you separate what truly matters from what only feels urgent. In that clarity, you find direction, and with direction, your day begins not in confusion but in focus. The world will always offer distraction, and there will always be noise around you. But if you choose even a few moments each morning to step into silence, you give yourself an anchor that holds you steady when storms come, a place of strength when pressure rises. Those who start their day in silence walk into the world differently. They are not pulled so easily by chaos because they carry stillness inside them. To honor silence each morning is to remind yourself that you are more than the noise, more than the rush, more than the endless demands. It is to say, before I meet the world, I must first meet myself. And in that meeting, you discover peace that no chaos can steal. Gratitude is the opening of the heart, a door that allows light to enter even on the darkest of days. When you begin your morning by giving thanks, you shift the entire atmosphere of your life. Gratitude transforms what you have into enough, and what feels ordinary into something sacred. A simple breath becomes a gift, the rising sun becomes a reminder of renewal, even the challenges before you become opportunities for growth. When you practice gratitude at the start of your day, you are no longer chasing what you lack. You are celebrating what already surrounds you. It is easy to wake up thinking of problems, tasks, or burdens waiting for you. But gratitude interrupts that pattern. It redirects your attention away from what drains you and toward what strengthens you. It is not about ignoring difficulties. It is about remembering that you are not empty-handed. There is always something you carry that is worth treasuring. Your breath, your faith, your resilience, the people who stand with you, the lessons you have learned. Gratitude lifts the heart above complaint and gives it wings to fly higher than despair. When you start with gratitude, you notice things you would have overlooked. The smile of a loved one, the quiet strength in your own body, the beauty of the morning air, all of it becomes a reminder that life itself is a miracle, and this awareness creates energy. It gives you strength to move through obstacles because your heart is not weighed down by lack, but lifted up by abundance. Gratitude is not only a prayer spoken with words, it is a way of seeing. To open your eyes in the morning and say, "Thank you," is to declare that life has already given you more than enough to face what is ahead. It is to recognize that no matter how heavy the load may be, there is still light within you to carry it. Gratitude prepares the heart to receive more, because only a heart that acknowledges blessings can hold new ones when they arrive. When you start your day with surrender, you release the illusion that you must control everything. You acknowledge that there is a wisdom greater than yours, a hand guiding you beyond what you can see. Surrender is not weakness, it is strength, because it frees you from the weight of anxiety and the prison of fear. To surrender is to trust that each step, whether smooth or rough, is part of a divine design that will ultimately lead you where you need to be. In the early morning, when the world is still quiet, surrender becomes a sacred act. It is the moment you say, "I cannot do this alone, but I do not have to." You hand over your worries, your burdens, and even your plans, asking for alignment rather than control. This allows peace to take the place of tension. It allows your heart to rest, knowing it is carried by something larger than itself. Surrender does not mean you stop working or striving. It means you release the need to dictate outcomes. You still walk, but you walk with trust. You still act, but you act with faith. The energy that comes from this trust is lighter, freer, more powerful. Instead of being consumed by what-ifs, you step into the present moment with the assurance that you are guided. Each morning, surrender opens a path for miracles. It clears the clutter of doubt and makes room for clarity. It invites strength where there was weakness, wisdom where there was confusion, and peace where there was chaos. To surrender is to start the day not as a soldier carrying the weight of the world, but as a child resting in the care of a loving father. It is the quiet whisper that says, "I am safe, I am guided, I am not alone." When you rise each morning and choose to place God at the center, you are no longer waking up to chaos but to clarity, no longer stepping into fear but into faith. Every sunrise becomes an invitation to walk in strength, to carry peace where there was once worry, to embrace direction where there was once confusion. Life will still bring challenges, but you will not face them with an empty heart. You will face them grounded, filled, and guided. The day no longer controls you. You begin to shape it with purpose because you have anchored yourself in the one who knows the path before you. To start your day with God is to open the door to miracles, to welcome unseen blessings, and to remind yourself that you were never meant to walk alone. And when that truth becomes your rhythm, every step you take is lighter, every burden feels bearable, and every day becomes an opportunity to live with hope, strength, and unshakable faith.